Director Gemma Ledesma. From the Land Management Bureau, we have Engineer S.G. Marlevi R. Rito. And from the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines, we have Mr. Edmond Quaresma. From the League of Provinces, we have Attorney Jomar M. Oligario. That's all for now, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Comsec. Anyway, again, pleasant good morning, everybody. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. When we enacted the organic law for the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao during the 17th Congress, then sponsor Senator Mig Zubiri said, the BOL is an instrument of peace so that we can achieve this long-lasting dream of peace in the country. In furtherance of our goal of lasting peace, the residents of the identified territorial jurisdiction of BARM were given the right to vote to ratify their inclusion in the region. When 63 barangays from the province of Cotabato voted to become part of the BARM, they became part of the so-called Special Geographic Area, which later voted to create 8 new municipalities. These 8 new municipalities now have a peculiar situation wherein they do not belong to any of the BARM provinces. Kamakailan lamang nagsagawa tayo ng pagdinig para talakayin ang panukalang postponement o resetting ng halalan sa BARM. Isa sa mga issue na pinag-usapan ang kinakaharap ngayon ng hindi bababa sa 60 mga barangay ang napagkaitan ng kanilang karapatang bumoto. Ang tinuturong dahilan, walang kinabibilangang probinsya ang nabanggit na mga barangay. To ensure that the residents of the 63 barangays will not be disenfranchised in the 2025 national and local elections, I support the proposed bill of Senator Robin Padilla to legislate the creation of the SGA into the Cotabato province. Naniniwala po ko na mahalaga na ang karapatang bumoto, ang karapatang mamili. Nararapat lamang po na siguruhin natin ang ating pamahalaan na walang mapagkakaitan na ang karapatang ito. Sana po ay magsilbing instrumento ang pagsasabatas ng panukala ng Senate Bill number 2875 para mabigyan ng pagkakataon na makaboto ang ating mga kababayan mula sa 63 barangays ng Special Geographic Areas. Maraming salamat po at pagpalain po tayo lahat ng Panginoon. Today, we will be hearing the following resource person since our chairman, Comelec Chair is here and he has a flight to catch. No? Pasensya na po, Chair, at nalate tayo, but we will ask you first, no? Kayo na po mauna, no? Regarding the issues surrounding it. But before that, probably our author, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, might want to have a statement before we start our hearing proper.
Maraming salamat po sa atin pong tagapangulo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Isang pagbati po ng puno ng pagpapala at awa ng Panginoon ang handog ko po sa inyong lahat. Una, nais ko pong ipahayag ang aking pagsaludo at pasasalamat po sa tagapangulo ng komite ng lokal na pamahalaan, ang anak po ng masa, ang atin pong idolo, ang atin pong teacher, ang number 1 rider po talagang tunay, Senator J.B. Ejercito. Gayun din po ang aking pasasalamat naman sa ating mga panauhin ngayong araw na ito. Lalo po sa mga kapatid natin mula sa Mindanao na naglaan po ng oras upang makapiling natin ngayong umaga. At syempre po, ang special po nating pasasalamat din kay sa atin pong chairman ng Commission on Election, Honorable George Erwin M. Garcia, dahil siya po ang nagbigay sa atin ng idea na ito, kaya po tayo nakagawa ng panukala na ito. Batid naman po natin lahat na ang paksa ng committee ngayong araw na ito ay inihain ng inyong lingkod ang Senate Bill number 2875 tungkol sa pagbuo ng probinsya ng Cotabato na kinabibilangan po ng 63 mga barangay mula sa munisipalidad ng Pahamudin, Kabeserang Bayan, Kadayangan, Nabalawag, Old Kaabakan, Kapalawan, Malidigaw, Tugunan at Digawasan. Ginoong Tagapangulo, Isa po sa universal, likas at basic na pangangailangan ng tao ay ang mapabilang sa lipunang kanyang ginagalawan. Bahagi po ito ng ating psikolohiya bilang tao. Ang universal na pangangailangang ito ay sinasabi nating naaangkop din sa mga istruktura ng gobyerno. Sa aking palagay, ang mga panauhin natin ngayong araw na ito ay mula po sa special geographic areas. Ay magpapatotoo kung gaano kahirap ang kawalan ng politikal at geographical structure na kinabibilangan. Hindi natin po maikakaila na kailangan ang pagtatatag ng lalawigan para sa mga SGAs na ito sapagkat mahalaga ito sa pamumuhay at operasyon ng mga munisipalidad at barangay sa SGA ng Bangsamoro Autonomous Region. Hangad ko po na sa pamamagitan ng pagdinig na ito ay matutugunan natin ang pagpapabilis sa pag-unlad ng mga bagong likhang munisipalidad at upang maging epektibo rin ang pagbibigay ng pangunahing serbisyo sa kanilang mga nasasakupan. Critical po ito sa ating pagnanais na isulong ang inclusive na pag-unlad, mapalakas ang kapayapaan at kaayusan sa lugar na napinsala ng ilang dekada ng armadong hindi pagkakaintindihan at siyempre po ang pigilan ang disenfranchisement ng mga tao sa pamamagitan ng pagtiyak na ang kanilang mga karapatan ay naibibigay ng sapat at mahusay na pamahalaan. Alam niyo po mga kababayan, nakalulungkot pong isipin na may mga kapatid po tayong hindi nakaboboto. Ito po ay malaking pagyurak sa kanilang karapatan sapagkat ito po ay nasa konstitusyon. Ito po ay binigay ng konstitusyon na karapatan ng ating mga kababayan, lalong-lalo na po ang ating mga kababayan na katulad ko po ay nagnanais na maramdaman na sila ay kasama dito sa gobyernong ito. Sila ay mahal ng gobyernong ito at sila ay kapabilang ng gobyernong ito. Kaya ito po, mahal naming tagapangulo, ay napakahalagang bagay sa aming lahat. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, ang ating pong principal author nitong batas ito. Before we continue, the Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Win Gatchalian. Thank you, sir, for joining us also this morning. But before we continue, the Chair would like to thank our Chief Minister, Honorable Ahod Ibrahim, for being here present this morning. It is an honor for our committee to have you for you to join us. It goes to show that we really are all serious in finding solutions to all of these issues surrounding, so that we may find the peaceful solution in all of this. Anyway, Senator Gatchalian, you might want to say something first. No opening statement. Okay, so since Chairman George Garcia sa flight to catch, the Chair would like to take advantage of your presence. Tatlong katanungan lang, Chairman, para makahab na kayo. Under the bill, a plebiscite shall be conducted and supervised by COMELEC within 90 days from the date of its effectivity. Is this a sufficient time to prepare the conduct of the plebiscite in case the bill is passed by both houses, Chairman?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, at sa mga kagalang-galang na miyembro ng committee na ito. As far as the COMELEC is concerned, Mr. Chair, before answering your question, dun po muna sa nung nangyari noong 2022, as correctly pointed out by the Honorable Senator Robin Hood Padilla, hindi po sila nakaboto yung sa 63 barangays ng mayor ng kanilang mga provincial officials, at hindi rin po sila nakaboto ng congressman dahil wala po tayong na-create nga na probinsya at wala rin po tayong na-create na legislative district para po sa kanila. And so they were disenfranchised really in 2022. At talagang nakakalungkot kung sila naman po ay disenfranchise din sa darating na halalan ng 2025 because disenfranchisement is never the business of this republic, and we should do everything legally possible to ensure that everybody is able to vote. So ganito po ang ating senaryo sa kasalukuyan. Ngayon po ay Disyembre, but we would like to express our strongest support to this the bill of Senator Padilla and the initiative of this committee. Ngayon po ay December, ang COMELEC po ay may ginagawang tinatawag na election management system. Yan pong election management system ay very important, lalo't automated elections tayo. Kung sakali pong maipasa ang ating pong panukalang batas na ito bago matapos ang Disyembre, so meron po tayo more or less, sabi po ng panukalang batas, 90 days para i-hold ang plebisito. So ang 90 days po, kung sakaling Disyembre, March po yon. Very close sa ating pong national and local elections. Kung ang plano naman po ay isama ito, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, sa ating pong national and local election, yung plebisito lang na tanong na yes or no, ang kailangan po namin talaga ay December 13 dahil ipe-prepare po namin yung election management system natin. So mukhang hindi po namin kakayanin mula po January o hanggang March to conduct the plebiscite. Although kukunti lang naman po ito dahil ang latest ano po namin, ang number of registered voters lang naman po dito ay 119,000. So mukhang kung ipipilitin natin, pwede mag-manual election basta po maipasa kaagad ang batas. So kaya naman po namin. Ngayon po, Mr. Chair, doon sa issue naman, kunwari po makreate natin ang province of Cotabato, kailan po yung halalan para dito? Definitely po, hindi na natin kaya ang 2025. Ang alternative solution natin is mag-conduct tayo ng special election, which can happen after May 2025 elections, or in the meantime, the election will be in 2028, but the president will have to appoint, as pointed out in the bill, yung pong mga in transition, yung pong governor, vice governor at members ng sangguniang panlalawigan. In the case naman po ng congressman ay magkakaroon po ng caretaker na usually ginagawa naman po ng House of Representatives. Or pwede po tayong immediately after the election sa pagitan ng May at December, dahil December po ay barangay and SK elections muli sa isang taon, pwede po sa pagitan noon mag-conduct tayo ng special election para sa gobernador, vice-gobernador at sangguniang panlalawigan. Kami po, Mr. Chair, Your Honors, ay very much willing kung ano man po yung sasabihin sa atin ng ating Kongreso tungkol sa bagay niyan. Basta po importante lang ay makaboto yung mga kababayan natin. As far as do sa creation naman po ng mismong probinsya, kahit po yung kinrate natin yung Biliran, kahit yung kinrate po natin ang dito sa may bandang, ang Dinagat Islands, may issue rin po doon sa population. Sa kasalukuyan po, noong 2020, for the information of the committee, as far as the COMELEC records are concerned, meron po kaming 211,000 na population. But that was 220. Later po, siguro matatanong natin yung PSA tungkol sa bagay na yan. Ang projection po namin at that time, 267,000 by 2025. So kung ganun po, na-comply na yung population requirement ng ating pong Section 7 ng Local Government Code. Kasi yung issue po dyan is yung income, population, at saka po yung land area. Yung land area, wala pong problema. Yung contiguous requirement, kahit hindi po talaga sila contiguous, may exemption po na nakalagay sa Local Government Code. At ang nakalagay po dyan, kapag ito ay separated by 2 or more islands or local government units na independent. So ito po, separated sila by islands and 2 or more local government units. So wala po tayong issue na doon sa contiguity. So again, when it comes to the requirements of the Local Government Code, specifically Section 7, itong 8 municipalities or the original 63 barangays ay nag-comply po based sa assessment ng COMELEC sa ating pong requirement, and therefore there is no more legal impediment for the creation of this province of Cotabato. So but as far as timelines lang po, yun lang po yung medyo we will participate fully doon sa TWG that this committee might be creating for purposes of finalizing the important dates doon sa kung kailan natin po ito gagawin. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Chair. So ang ano talaga natin yung our issue is because the local national election is upcoming, no? Yun ang magiging complications in case, no? But in terms of conducting the plebiscite, wala naman ng problema because it's as you said, hindi naman masyadong malaki yung population. We can even go manual. Kung sakali pong hindi aabot sa deadline yun na December 13 for the printing of the ballots, we can just in case pwede ho tayo mag-manual.
Yes, Mr. Chair. In fact, kung yung kasi nga po dahil 119,000 yung voting population, bigyan nyo lang po kami ng sufficient na short time para po mapag-usapan namin kung pwede natin makondak ang plebisito sa yes or no sa pagkikreate kung sakali maipapasa ang panukalang batas before the end of this year doon sa pagitan ng January to May of 2025. Although talaga pong napaka-tight yung schedule namin at timelines, pero kung manual po, tingnan po natin kasi maliit na balota lang po yan, Mr. Chair. Yung yes or no lang po yun eh. So para lang po maipilit na natin na makapag-plebisito man lang doon sa yes or no.
Thank you, Chairman. Likewise, we want you to catch your flight. Last na lang po, take advantage. Dito rin naman po si Chief Minister Ibrahim. We might, although this is not, yung postponement of the BARM elections might be scheduled next week, but like to take advantage of the presence of the Chief Minister and the other officials of BARM. Yung po kasing naging meron kasing issue na yung what is the position of the COMELEC regarding the issue on the resignation of all public appointed officials upon filing of their COC. Siguro maganda hong maliwanagan ngayon coming from you, Chairman George. Will this also apply to the BTA members?
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. Nung dinadra po natin ng Bangsamoro yung pong election code, kami po ay kasama doon. Pagmamalaki namin na kabilang kami, nakukonsult po kami ng Bangsamoro Transition Authority sapagkat gusto namin maging maayos po yung election code. At yung pong COMELEC ay nag-agree doon sa provision ng Bangsamoro Electoral Code, yung paglalagay that all incumbent BTA members are not deemed resigned if they will be filing the certificates of candidacy. So as far as the COMELEC is concerned, ang position po namin, we supported and agreed with the provision. May naging problema lang po kami lately. Sana from doon sa mga abogadong na andito, mapag-isipan natin. Meron po kasi kaming ginawa doon sa party list. Sa party list po kasi ay lahat ng nominees ng party list, nilagay namin sa guidelines namin na kung sila ay mga incumbent appointed officials, sila po ay not deemed resigned. Not deemed resigned po sila. Sinabi namin kasi ang sinabi po namin, ang tumatakbo sa party list ay ang mga organizations, ang mga political parties at hindi ang nominees. At sinite namin yung dalawang kaso dyan, kaso ng Abayon versus HRET, kasama na rin po yung kaso ng Palparan versus HRET, na TRO po kami ng Supreme Court. Kaya lahat po ng mga appointed officials sa ating pamahalaan na naging nominee or nominees ng party list ay deemed resigned. Of course, ang saving grace po sa Bangsamoro Electoral Code, Mr. Chair, ay dahil may provision sa Electoral Code not deemed resigned sila. So doon po natin i-weigh na lang, hindi ko po sasagutin dahil legal issue, kung may provision at pagkatapos may TRO. So magkatulad pa yung implikasyon at yung epekto po nito. So hanggang sa kasalukuyan po, ang kaso namin tungkol sa party list ay pending sa Supreme Court, Mr. Chair, and wala pa pong disposition. Ang dahilan lang kung bakit sila lahat resigned ay dahil sa temporary restraining order issued by the Honorable Supreme Court in that particular case.
So that has to be clarified, no? Yun pang kailangan natin yung legal issue. Whether yung provision po na not deemed resigned sa kanila will not be in conflict with our constitution.
Yes, Mr. Chair, basta po ngayon in the meantime, they are still sitting because of the provision of the election code. And that should really be it because until a provision of a law or an ordinance is declared null and void, then the status quo is maintained, Mr. Chair.
Ito yung mga kailangan natin i-resolve, no? Ng mga issues. That's why we really need time for that. No? Probably we will, ano. Chairman, siguro, Senator Robin or Senator Gatchalian, probably have questions with Chairman George so that we can let him go already. Meron siyang flight.
Clarification, Chairman George, I'll take advantage of your presence. So you mentioned earlier, the mga incumbent BTA right now who are appointed, if they filed their candidacy, they're not
Yung po yung nakalagay sa transitory provision ng electoral code na naipasa po ng Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Yung pong that those who are appointed to the BTA by the President are not deemed resigned upon the filing of their certificates of candidacy for 2025
So
elections.
what's the general rule for all?
Ang lumalabas po na rule talaga, Mr. Chair, all appointive officials, once they file their certificates of candidacies, are deemed automatically resigned, except
Correct,
elective officials.
correct. So that's why yung mga kagaya mga secretaries,
Deemed resigned po.
diba,
Yes, sir.
resign sila. But this is itong BTA, appointed sila ngayon, na-extend lang eh, diba?
That's right, Mr. Chair.
So they're, because of that law, they are exempted.
Yes, Mr. Chair, and therefore tama po ang ating kagalang-galang tagapangulo. The issue now is really whether, because there is a clash between the general principle and this provision of the Bangsamoro Electoral Code,
Is there
Mr.
a
Chair.
case challenging that?
In the meantime, wala po tayong
So walang
alam.
case.
Wala
So
pa po
that's
tayong.
why they can still occupy their position in the BTA and also become a candidate at the
Ye-
same time.
Yes, Mr. Chair. As far as the Comelec is concerned, nakalagay po sa guidelines namin on the filing of certificates of candidacy, those appointed officials who will be filing their certificates of candidacy are deemed resigned. Yun po yung nakalagay sa
That's the
amin.
general rule. No?
That's the general rule. And as to whether it will accept of any exception, that is a legal issue, Mr. Chair.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Gatchalian. Chairman George, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Laking bagay po na na-clarify niyo itong mga issues. Maraming salamat, our Comelec Chair.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair, at sa mga kagalang-galang na mga panauhin. Salamat.
So to continue, the Chair would like to hear from the following in this order. Of course, the Bangsamoro government for their position on the creation of the province, the new province, the mayors of the 8 municipalities who are here, the national government agencies, province of Cotabato and the leagues. So yun po in that order, no? So now we start with the Bangsamoro government. I'd like to take advantage. Our Chief Minister Ibrahim, probably you can make your statement in your position, sir. Attorney Elijah Dumama Alba will be speaking in behalf of the Chief Minister. You're recognized, ma'am.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My courtesies and utmost respect to the chair of the Committee on Local Government, Senator Joseph Victor Ejercito, to the principal author of the Senate Bill number 2875, Honorable Senator Robin Hood Padilla, to Senator Win Gatchalian, to the Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro Government, and all who are present today. We would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to the committee for allowing the Bangsamoro government to provide insights and inputs on Senate Bill number 2875. Foremost, we would also like to thank the Office of Senator Robin Hood Padilla for consulting with us, going down to the Bangsamoro government in Cotabato City when they were drafting the bill. Mr. Chair, we would like to read the official position paper signed by the Chief Minister on Senate Bill number 2875. This position paper articulates the stance of the Bangsamoro government regarding Senate Bill number 2875, which proposes the creation of Cotabato Province to be composed of the municipalities of Pahamudin, Kadayangan, Nabalawag, Old Kaabakan, Kapalawan, Malidigao, Tugunan, and Ligawasan in the special geographic area of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. The bill seeks to address the unique socio-political and economic needs of the constituents of the said area, ensuring that their rights and aspirations are recognized within the framework of the Bangsamoro Organic Law. For the land area, 814.75 square kilometers based on the latest land survey. We have a population of 215,433 based on the Philippine Statistics Authority 2020 census. We have an annual income of 282,609,928 pesos. Data is coming from the Office of the Provincial Treasurer of the Cotabato Province. And we have the 8 municipalities recently created by the Bangsamoro Parliament. We have relevant provisions of in the Bangsamoro Organic Law. Although the Bangsamoro Parliament is allowed to create, divide, merge, abolish, or substantially alter boundaries of municipalities or barangays, it is not authorized to establish a province, as this automatically results in the creation of a legislative district. Section 10, Article 6 of the Bangsamoro Organic Law directs the Bangsamoro government to cooperate and coordinate with the national government through the Philippine Congress Bangsamoro Parliament Forum, or the PCBPF, for any act that requires the creation of a legislative district. The PCBPF, which was created for purposes of cooperation and coordination of legislative initiatives, is one of the intergovernmental relations mechanisms established through the Bangsamoro Organic Law to allow the national government and the Bangsamoro government to coordinate and resolve issues on intergovernmental relations through regular consultation and continuing negotiations in a non-adversarial manner. This can be found in Section 10, Article 6 of RA 11054. On the plebiscite requirement, the proposed creation of a province in the BARM Special Geographic Area must be subject to the approval of a majority of the votes cast in a plebiscite in the political units directly affected, as provided in Section 10, Article 10 of the Philippine Constitution. This ensures that the constituents directly affected by the proposed province, creation of the proposed province, have the opportunity to express their consent or dissent regarding its establishment. Sections 10 and 11 of Article 10 of the Constitution grant the Congress of the Philippines the authority to create, divide, merge, abolish, or alter the boundaries of provinces, cities, or municipalities and barangays in accordance with the criteria established under Section 461, Chapter 1, Title 4, Book 3 of the Republic Act number 7160. However, the 8 municipalities of the SGA already consolidated an average annual income of 282,609,928, a combined territory of 814.75 square kilometers, and a total population of 215,433 inhabitants. While the SGA may not meet some of the statutory requirements for the creation of a province under Republic Act number 7160, there is an imperative to recognize the peculiar situation of the municipalities and the SGA as set by legislative precedents of the Philippine Congress in the creation of the provinces of Biliran and Dinagat Islands. Reference to the final census count of the Philippine Statistics Authority for 2024 may also be considered. We would like to also note the historical context of the BARM SGA and the formation and governance under what was once called the Moro Province from 1903 to 1914. The Moro Province, established in June 1903 under U.S. military rule, played a pivotal role in shaping the historical trajectory of Cotabato. It included Mindanao, Sulu, and the neighboring islands, areas predominantly inhabited by Moros and other indigenous peoples. The creation of the Moro Province marked a significant shift in the governance and control of Mindanao and Sulu under the U.S. colonial rule. This initiative was originally aimed to centralize authority over the Moro regions and address their long-standing resistance to foreign colonization. The administration of the Moro Province was placed in the hands of U.S. military officials, with the Governor General holding substantial powers and spanned legislative, judicial, and executive functions. This governance model often clashed with the traditional Moro leadership structures, including the sultanates and datus, which had governed the region for centuries. The establishment and governance strategies of the Moro Province profoundly influenced the socio-political and economic dynamics of the region. These policies not only exacerbated tensions between the Moros and the colonial government, but also laid the foundation for contemporary issues related to governance, land rights, and cultural preservation in the Bangsamoro region. On legal and constitutional considerations, the Bangsamoro Organic Law was enacted to provide for the establishment of the BARM, a political entity that recognizes the identity, rights, and aspirations of the Bangsamoro people. The law aims to promote self-governance, cultural preservation, and economic development in the region. During the 2019 plebiscite, the 63 barangays of the formerly of North Cotabato voted for their inclusion in the BARM and were subsequently constituted as the special geographic area due to their unique status. However, the SGA has been experiencing a political vacuum since it became a part of BARM in 2019. In this light, Senate Bill number 2875 was filed by Senator Robin Hood Padilla seeking to create the Cotabato province in the BARM. The Philippine Constitution mandates that each province shall have at least one representative in the House of Representatives. In the case of SEMA versus COMELEC, GR number 177597, July 16, 2008, the Honorable Supreme Court affirmed that the creation of a province inherently entails the creation of a legislative district by constitutional implication. Consequently, the establishment of a province for the SGA will enhance political representation for its residents. This will also improve the delivery of government service, promote inclusive growth, and strengthen the peace and order in the areas that have been marred by decades of armed conflict, all in alignment with the provisions on objectives laid down in the Bangsamoro Organic Law. So we have also put here our rationale for establishing a province based on the following justifications: local governance, political representation, as I mentioned earlier, social development, economic development, and social justice. Our recommendations, Mr. Chair, are as follows. Possible referral of the creation of a province in the BARM SGA to the PCBPF. The establishment of a province in the BARM SGA is an act that requires the creation of a legislative district. Pursuant again to Section 10, Article 6 of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, the Bangsamoro government and the national government shall create and coordinate through the PCBPF to accomplish the creation of a legislative district. So we highly recommend the referral of this matter to the PCBPF in keeping with the provisions of the Bangsamoro Organic Law to allow the Bangsamoro government and national government to properly address and resolve all important and relevant issues. Second recommendation is to rename the Cotabato province to Moro province. The term Cotabato is already associated with the existing Cotabato province and Maguindanao. Using Moro province for the new entity avoids redundancy and offers distinct branding while honoring the region's historical significance. The renaming to Moro province could be justified as a recognition of the historical and cultural heritage of the Moro people, consistent with the principles of local autonomy and respect for cultural identity enshrined in the Constitution. This aligns with the rationale behind the creation of autonomous regions or provinces as seen in the Bangsamoro Organic Law. The third is the subject to style po yung mga titles. Next, sir, is we support the enactment into law of Senate Bill number 2875 and encourage all stakeholders to support the passage of the bill to ensure the establishment of the, hopefully, what we call the Moro province. Next would be the harmonization of the provisions of the Senate bill with Bangsamoro Autonomy Act number 49 or the Bangsamoro Local Governance Code. We would also like to flag that this might count as a bill of local application. So the Honorable Senate may also consider asking the House of Representatives for a counterpart bill. Next po is the funding source for the conduct of the plebiscite. Respectfully, Section 48 of the Senate bill states that the expenses for the conduct of the plebiscite shall be borne by the appropriate agency in the BARM. It might be more appropriately discussed at the level of the PCBPF, considering that it is within the mandate of the Bangsamoro Parliament to determine the allocation of the block grant. As provided in Section 19, Article 12 of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, the Bangsamoro Parliament shall pass an annual appropriations law allocating the block grant to various agencies and programs according to the powers and functions of the Bangsamoro government. In conclusion, Senate Bill number 2875 is a significant legislative measure that seeks to create a province for the special geographic area. It is grounded on constitutional and legal principles that promote local autonomy, cultural preservation, and socio-economic development. The bill would be and is supported by the Bangsamoro government as it aligns with the aspirations of the Bangsamoro people for self-determination and effective governance. Signed by Honorable Ahod B. Ibrahim, Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro Transition Authority. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Elijah Dumama Alba. Of course, that's the position of the Bangsamoro government, represented, of course, by our Chief Minister Ibrahim, no less. So I'd like to ask our other agencies present, yung pong mayors of the 8 municipalities. Sino po pwedeng magsilta para sa mga mayors? Yes, Honorable Lascud. You are now recognized, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Especially to the sponsor, Honorable Ruben Padilla, our brother in Islam. Assalamualaikum, sir. And the rest of the present invited guests here. And of course, especially to our Chief Minister, Honorable Ahod Balawag Ibrahim. Thank you very much to all of us here. House Bill number 2875, sponsored by no less than Senator Ruben Padilla, and now being hardened for public consultation by Honorable GB Ejercito, and of course with the allies of our Honorable Senator also, in the name of our constituents in the special geographic area, we thank you very much for these efforts. It has been already 5 years and 10 months since the establishment of the the result of the plebiscite in February 6, 2019. Supposedly, unexpectedly, the municipalities has been already created so that the province for these municipalities to be created that time is also soon to be created. That's why we are very much happy for our efforts in the SGA for garnering a very high markable result of the plebiscite at the time. Now, since it is already 5 years and 10 months, our people really is yearning so much that the creation of our province will be possibly very soon. And we hope that it will be earlier than the election, as already mentioned earlier. by the chairman of the COMELEC. Another thing is this province also is, I understand there was already a file bill for this from the BTA, but ours is to rename it into Moro Province, considering the historical antecedents that has been historically been already given by the government of the United States in 1903, although it was short-lived because it was abolished in 1913, but very historical on our part, considering that the Moro has been first recognized in those days. That's why there was that Moro province. So we are in this special geographic area. We hope that it will be renamed into Moro province, considering the historical and background of the Moro province. So thank you for the meantime.
Thank you. Sino pa hong sa mga mayors na nandito? Sino pa hong gusto magsalita? Or sige po. Mayor Atu Ibrahim.
My courtesy and respect to our Committee on Local Government, Honorable Senator Herto Estrada,
Please, yes, Mayor.
Victor Estrada,
Please go ahead.
the proponent or the author of this bill, House Number 128, Honorable Senator Robin Hood C. Padilla, my beloved Chief Minister Ahud Balawag Ibrahim, MPs who are around here, and the local government officers from 8 municipalities of SJ. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I just want to read my position paper regarding the creation of the province.
Yes, please, siguro yung pinaka-gist na lang po, no? Yeah.
Mm.
Just submit the main position paper to the
I
committee.
just submit my
Yung
position.
pinaka-brief na lang po. So,
Mm.
so that to make things faster, no? Yung pinaka-ano na lang po, yung mismong position, main points po siguro ng position.
Yes, so I read the some short the position paper to the Honorable Speaker and the honorable members of the Committee on Local Government by the constituents of the Municipality of Navalaog Special Geographic Area, SGA, of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao for supporting for the SGA become a province. So I, as the appointed councillor of the Municipality of Navalaog, stand before you today with a deep sense of responsibility and commitment to the future of our municipality, our region, its people. Hence, I express my immense support for the creation of the Moro province in the special geographic area, SGA of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, BARM. I respectfully request that the name of the proposed province be Moro province. Thank you.
So, Moro province din po ang inyong proposal. Yes, please identify yourself. Hindi ko pa makita. Mayor, Kata,
Yes,
Katagay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kayagay. Well,
Nasir Gayagay from Municipality of Tugunan, SGA.
you're the administrator?
Yep.
Sige po. Yung pinaka-brief na lang po,
The constituent of Municipality of Tugunan is very supportive of the stand of the Bangsamoro government, which was headed by our Honorable Chief Minister Ahud Ibrahim. Uh, Therefore, we are very supportive on the statement. But personally, what was not clear for me is the provincial seat, because on the statement, hindi ko po narinig kung saan ba nakasituated itong it is very important for me, for us, so that it might be, if I can recommend to your committee, Honorable Chair, to have a provision na kung saan man nakasituated yung provincial seat, ay mayroon pong provision na hindi na po yun ma-change po, hindi na po malipat sa saan mga lugar, kung sino man yung magiging governor. Kung saan man po siya nalagay according doon sa proposed bill on the creations of province of Moro, because we suggested also Moro instead of Cotabato. I also highly recommend that it will be changed into Moro province because of the uniqueness of the history of the Moro. And then what was not clear for me is the provincial seat of the proposed province. Kailangan po yun kasi if I can suggest or recommend to your committee, Mr. Chair, that kung makagawa po tayo ng provision na kung saan man po na situated yung provincial government, ay hindi na po siya malipat sa kung sino man yung po yung ma-elect as a governor. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat, Administrator. Yes, next, please identify yourself, sir.
And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am the Tuti Labas Jr., representing our municipal mayor, Honorable Ismael Mama. So I believe I am the youngest in the room. So we just wanted to say that this bill gives so much hope, not just for our province, but also for us young generations who will continue the legacy in the province of Ligawasan or the province of Cotabato. Now, we just wanted to say that we in the Ligawasan municipality of Ligawasan wholeheartedly endorse the Senate Bill number 2875. And this bill is not just about the present, it is about securing a lasting legacy for our future generations of Bangsamoro. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of our struggle for self-determination, justice, and cultural preservation. So we firmly believe that the passage of this bill will mark a new chapter in the history of the Bangsamoro region. So thank you so much and mabuhay.
Thank you. Maraming salamat din po. Sino pa ho?
Auzubillahiminasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum jami'an wa barakatuh and good morning po. Please allow me to read the brief position papers coming from the people of Kapalawan that was consolidated by the Office of the Mayor. The municipality of Kapalawan respectfully submit this position paper in support of the Senate Bill 2875, which seeks to establish a new province of 8 municipalities of SGA. The necessity of creating Cotabato Province or the Moro Province, as stated in the Bangsamoro Transition Authority Parliament Resolution number 499, which respectfully urges the 19th Congress of the Philippines to enact a law creating a province to be composed of 8 municipalities. The establishment of Cotabato Province is essential to the existence and position of the municipalities and barangays in the SGA BARM. It will address the urged need for the well-defined political structure to facilitate governance, development, and services delivery in the SGA. Currently, the SGA is governed by the Special Geographic Area Development Authority, an interim structure that lacks the full capabilities of a provincial government to electively serve its constituents. This temporary arrangement limits the efficient administration of resources and hampers economic growth and infrastructure development. The establishment of Cotabato Province will institutionalize governance which would allow the allocation of resources and implementation of programs tailored to the needs of the SDA. Moreover, it will ensure political representation and prevent the disfranchisement of its residents in future election. The lack of representation, the absence of province for the 8 municipalities entails no representation of the House of the Representative. Incidental also in the absence of official in the province level, which are governor, vice governor, provincial board members, and other councilors and board member where existence of the province is indispensable. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more for the, yes, please identify yourself.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My courtesy to the members of this committee, Honorable Joseph Victor Ejercito, the proponent of the Senate bill, Honorable Robin Hood Padilla, and Senator Win Gatchalian. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I have here the position letter of our OIC Municipal Mayor. I will try to sum it up, and I will read it as fast as I can. To the honorable members of the Senate Committee on Local Government and the honorable members of the Senate of the Philippines, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Greetings of peace and unity. The municipality of Old Kaabacan, a newly established municipality within the special geographic area of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, express its strong and unwavering support of the Senate Bill number 2875, an act creating special geographic area in the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. As transitioning municipality, we are confronted with numerous challenges that underscore the need for higher provincial authority to assist and guide us in delivering effective governance and public social services to our constituents. Furthermore, to enrich and strengthen the proposal, we humbly suggest that instead of naming the province as Cotabato Province, it shall be known as Moro Province. This name resonates deeply with the historical and cultural significance of our region and reflects our collective aspiration for peace and progress under shared identity. The municipality of Old Kaabacan is steadfast in its belief that the establishment of this province, the Moro Province, will serve as a transformative step toward inclusive and sustainable development in not only for our municipality, but also for the local government unit in the special geographic area. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any more last na sa municipalities? Please
Yes,
make it
thank
brief.
you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. I am Ibrahim El Rahman, the Vice Mayor of the Municipality of Famudin. My courtesy to the Committee Chair on Local Government, and of course kay Senator Gatchalian, and my salute to the principal author of the Bill 2875. It has been the general sentiment and clamor of the 63 barangays na magkaroon ng provincial government. Unang-una po dito is the Municipality of Famudin support Bill 2875. At saka yung position paper po ng ating Chief Minister na binasa kanina ng ating MILG. Isa po yun na gusto namin masuportahan ng todo. Yung creation po ng the province of the Moro Province is ang kagandaan po na ma-create is ma-address in a holistic approach yung general sentiments ng 63 barangays.
Kasi in the absence of province po is parang nanineglect. Hindi na-address ng todo kasi divided, may mga munisipyo. Pero pag nagkaroon po ng province is ma-address yung in a holistic approach, yung general sentiments ng 63 barangays. Pangalawa po is yun, yung yun na, pag nagkaroon po ng provinces, ma-represent yung 63 barangays. Kasi right now is parang hindi na-address dahil yung mga munisipyo na lang. Pangatlo po is sana hindi na this coming election is makaboto na. Hindi na ma-disenfranchise yung 63 barangays. Dahil yung last election is hindi po nakaboto. So, malaking bagay po sa community na makapagpili sila ng leader nila dito sa province. Kasi last po hindi kami nakaboto sa province, sa national one na lang figure ang naboto namin. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, sir. So that's all. Yes, please identify yourself po.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Ako po si Honorable Raul Invirador Sr., Councilor po ng Municipality of Malidigao. Ang nag-iisang settler po na naging OIC sa 8 new created municipality. Sa amin po sa Malidigao, sinusuportahan po namin ang new creation of province of Moro Province. Nasabi naman ni Vice, kapipis na lang yung nauna. So, yun lang po sa kay Senador Robin Hood Padilla. Salamat. Maraming salamat, sir. Kay as a settler, malaki ding tulong ito sa amin. No? Kay Senador JB, kay Senador Wayne Gatchalian, at sa aming Chief Minister, Ahod Ibrahim, maraming talagang salamat. Sana po bigyan talaga ito ng importansya, bigyan ng solusyon ang mga problema namin doon sa pamamagitan po sa aming author na si Robin Hood, Senador Robin Hood Padilla. Maraming salamat po.
Salamat po. Meron pa? Yes, please identify yourself. Ano pong munisipyo?
So, thank you, Mr. Chair. I am MP Muhammad Kali Antaw from the Special Geographic Area. Thank you so much. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh to the Honorable Chair, Senator Joseph Victor Ejercito. Sa ating pong kapatid sa pananampalataya na naging ito siya po ang nagsumikap na magkaroon, isulong itong Senate bill na ito para po sa pagtatag ng Cotabato Province. Mayroon na po ako na-prepare na message na submit ko na po, hindi ko na po babasahin. Dahil gusto ko pong magsalita na galing sa puso yung aking pagsasalita. Nandito ako ngayon hindi bilang membro ng parlamento, kung hindi bilang dating legislator ng probinsya ng Cotabato na nakasubaybay sa mula po sa pagnanais ng ating mga kapatid na mga Bangsamoro na sumali po sa kanilang mga kapatid na nasa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Sila po ay sumama dahil sa kanilang inaasahang pag-asa na sa tingin nila bilang mga kasapi rin po at kasama rin po sa struggle ng Bangsamoro, ay nais po rin nila makasama doon po sa bunga ng paikibaka ng kanilang mga kapatid. Ito po ay nangyari nang kami po ay mag-file ng petition for inclusion dahil po nais po namin na mapabilang sa kanila. At sa pagdatag nitong pagplebisito noong February 6, 2019 ay 99.9% ang aming suporta na mapasama po dito po sa Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. Kaya po kami pinagpapasalamat sa ating mga Chief Minister sa pagtatag ng 8 munisipyo dito po sa 63 barangay. At kami rin po ay nangarap na magkaroon ng sariling probinsya dahil yan po ang hangarin ng mga taga 63 barangay na magkaroon ng sariling munisipyo, magkaroon ng sariling probinsya para po may pakita nila ang kanilang pagnanais na magkaroon ng bagong pag-asa, magkaroon ng sarili nila na kanilang sabihin natin na sariling pagpapasya sa kanilang probinsya. Kaya po kami nagpasalamat po sa ating mahal na sa ating mahal na senador, ating kapatid, na kung saan ay naisulong ito na magkaroon po tayo ng Cotabato Province bilang member ng parliament. At nagsulong po kami ng resolution na yon, yung 499 bilang isa doon. Ako po personally, I am fully supporting itong renaming the province into Amuro Province base po doon sa statement na isinaad po ng ating mga Chief Minister. So maraming salamat. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Maraming salamat din po. Maraming salamat din po. So now we go to after hearing the different mayors and the representatives of the 8 municipalities, we will now go to the respective agencies, mga national agencies. But siguro po, to make it fast, no? Target po natin siguro by lunchtime, matapos na ho tayo, no? We do not want to hold everybody long enough, no? Please submit the different position papers of the respective agencies. Yung mga ano na lang, yung mga formal, kasi mahaba po yun. Siguro yung mga gist na po. But today, we'd like to start first with ang challenge kasi dito talaga, yung pinag-uusapan namin Senator Win Gatchalian and Senator Robin, yung hindi contiguous itong ano no? Itong proposed province that will be created. Doon po sa DOF, BLGF, may anybody can answer. So, si Attorney Tricia Baran is always here sa mga meetings natin. Parang ano na to, resident resource person. Mr. Ricardo Robis, no? Anybody can answer. Probably we go first to Mr. Bobis, then Attorney Baraan. Doon sa requisites of the creation of the province under the local government code of 1991, the required average annual income of the creation of province shall be not less than 20 million pesos, no? Medyo outdated na rin to. Based on 1991 constant price as certified by the DOF. May we ask the BLGF muna if the special geographic area composed of 8 municipalities comply with the said requirement. Obvious naman siguro, pasok na sila. Sige po, Attorney, Mr. Bobis.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and to everyone. Presently po, with our estimates, the SGA, without the NTA, without the national tax allocation, kasi they are not receiving, so medyo mababa yung income nila. But assuming that they will be granted an NTA estimates, medyo papasok po sila sa income. And hindi po siya basta ganon. Yung effect din kasi dun sa, yung resulting effect sa panggagalingan nilang province, which is Cotabato. Si Cotabato will have a drop in the income, but not significant enough to affect its status as a province. So therefore, I guess we could certify later on the actual estimates of the income.
We will also ask the different provinces later, no? Bago. Si Attorney Tricia Baraan.
Good afternoon. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Senator Padilla, and Senator Gatchalian, and to everyone. Regarding po sa income ng mga provinces concerned, we note po that for this year, we have already released the NTA for the concerned barangays. On the other hand po, for the municipalities, next year po sila magbibigyan considering na this year lang po nagkaroon ng plebiscite po sa kanila. So, and finally po, in the creation of provinces, we note lang po that we have an index of occupational services, position titles, and salary grades in the local government so that they should also comply po. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Baraan. Likewise, may we ask you, yung pong inyong position papers, yung formal po. You take advantage of the presence of also of the different provinces present, no? Province of North Cotabato ba? North Cotabato, attorney, represented by Attorney Christine Sitar, representing our Governor Lala Talino, tsaka yung ULAP, and then the League of Provinces. Siguro yun na lang po para marinig namin kayo. Attorney Sitar?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Chair, Senator Victor Ejercito, and of course with the author, Senator Robin Hood Padilla, and Honorable Senator Win Gatchalian. I would just like to read our position paper in gist because we were amazed. I thought we were just the only one who thinks about the name of the province proposed. But if you may, the provincial government of Cotabato expresses its full support for the intent and objectives of Senate Bill number 2875, which seeks to create a new province within the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao or BARM. Under the proposed name Cotabato Province, this initiative reflects the government's commitment to fostering localized governance, enhancing representation, and improving service delivery to the residents of the Special Geographic Area or the SGA. While the provincial government of Cotabato fully supports the creation of the new province to empower the SGA communities, we respectfully offer a practical observation regarding the use of the term Cotabato. Given the historical context, the term Cotabato is deeply associated with both the former and current Cotabato province, as well as other areas such as South Cotabato and Cotabato City. While it carries cultural and historical significance, its use may unintentionally cause confusion, potentially leading to associations with the existing Cotabato province, South Cotabato, or institutions such as Museo Cotabato, which in fact under our jurisdiction. So in sum, we respectfully suggest reflecting further the proposed name, but as I've heard, you want to name it as Moro Province. And once again, I would like to reiterate, we affirm our full support for the Senate bill and its intentions to empower the SJA communities. We just want to put forward that we all want to strengthen our collective identity since we are in Mindanao while maintaining the unique identity of each jurisdiction. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Attorney Sitar. So, paabot na lang kay Governor Lala ang ating regards, and
Yes
thank you
po.
for the support for the bill. Yun lang po, no? Wag lang yung name lang. Ayaw, because it might cause confusion. Okay. So kung Moro Province, as what most of them are proposing, that's okay with you also.
For us po kasi po, it will reflect their identity as what they've explained naman po in their position paper. Yun po.
Thank you, Attorney Sitar.
Thank you po.
For the Union of Local Authorities or ULAP, Mr. Edmond Quaresma. Siguro briefly po yung inyong position.
Good morning, Chairperson, Senator Ejercito, and honorable members of this committee. I'm Edmond Quaresma, representing the Union of Local Authorities of the Philippines. And we thank you for inviting us to this session and reaching out to us for comments on the proposed bill, SB 2875, on the creation of a geographic area in BARM to be known as Cotabato Province. We are still currently collating inputs and comments from our National Executive Board for our official position paper. So for today, we defer to the wisdom of the League of Provinces of the Philippines. So yun lang muna. Thank you.
Thank you. So please submit also the position paper of ULAP. Last but not the least, for the positions, Attorney Jomar Olegario, League
Yes,
of
I am the director,
Province of the
Executive Director of
Philippines.
the League of Provinces of the Philippines. 3 points only. One, we defer to the position of the Province of Cotabato under Governor Emilio Mendoza, which will be affected geographically, financially, and politically. Since the creation of a new province is a law of local application, we hope that the House will propose the same. And then the third one, the last one, is that if the new province will meet the requirements in the creation of a province under the local government code, as well as the creation of Biliran and Dinagat Island, then we will concede. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Maraming salamat. Again, your position paper as well. Now to continue, Senator Gatchalian, baka meron kayong just butt in anytime, no? Sa mga kaila Mr. Bobby and Attorney Baraan. Yeah, anytime.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, Mr. Chairman, as an opening statement, like you, like the chairman, being a former chief executive, I always put a lot of weight to the aspirations and the desires of the locals. I always believe that the locals know best compared to us here in the national. The locals interact with their constituents on an hourly, maybe on a minute-to-minute basis. They talk to their constituents, they interact with their constituents, they know the problems, they know the dreams. And therefore, the local government units and the local chief executives know best for their constituents. In this creation, I also fully support the creation because I heard that from our friends and constituents from the BARM and also from the SGA that this is their desire and their wish. And with that, I fully support that because I know that they only want the best for their locality. However, there are very strict conditions in the local government code. So very strict. And the conditions that were placed there is meant to make it fair to all those who want to become a province and to make sure that rules and guidelines are followed. The same with creating a city. Kami ni Senator JV were former city mayors, and when we were mayors, we were very strict in those municipalities who want to become a city. Marami kaming debates yan before. We were also, there are also instances where barangay becomes a municipality. So there are guidelines in the local government codes, and that's what I want to focus on, to make sure that, number one, when we create this new province, it will not be challenged in the Supreme Court or even here during the period of debates because it did not qualify to the prescription of the local government code. And number two is also to avoid future bad precedents or future negative precedents wherein baka may mga ganitong instances and they will also claim exemptions to the conditions placed in the local government code. So I want to focus on that for now, Mr. Chairman, with your permission. And I heard BLGF earlier mentioned BLGF is tasked to look at the income requirement because in the creation of the province, there are two conditions. Number one is the income, which has to be not less than 20 million based on 1991 prices, and 2,000 square kilometers of contiguous land or 250,000 in terms of population. So these are the conditions to become a province. So I want to ask BLGF. Kanina you mentioned Yusek Bobis, Director Bobis. Right now, this SGA, what is their income? Their average annual income collectively, ano ba ang average annual income nila collectively, itong lahat ng mga municipalities?
Center as of 2022 and 2023 as deflated to 1991 base, it's only roughly 363,965 and 273,552.
Sorry,
63,965. That's for 2022.
So if you deflate this to 1991,
sir, this is deflated value.
This is deflated value already.
Yes.
So, but this includes everything. Does it? The annual, when you say the definition of average annual income includes everything.
Yes, sir. Sadly, because these are barangays and they haven't received previously their NTA and even the municipality. So kaya talagang almost LSR lang ito. Yung local
Okay.
resource.
Okay. And so this is their income right now. But if you compute the NTA, they will also be eligible for other incomes, no? What are the other incomes they will be eligible with?
If assuming that in our simulation we computed for an NTA equally distributed to all municipalities uh 2022, that this would go up as high as 500,549,992. That's the deflated 1991 value.
So what you're saying is at this time, without any other income, their annual income, average annual income is 363,000. No?
Yes, sir.
So malayo siya sa 20 million. But if you simulate, and then they are now eligible to receive other income such as NTAs, adjusted to inflation, they will reach about 500 million?
Yes, sir,
Sarado?
for the entire province.
For the entire SGA?
Yes.
Okay. But in the local government code, is their ano ba ang requirement? Their current income?
Current income including NTA. Including NTA.
In the local government
Yes,
code,
sir.
no? So, in other words, if you look at the local government code strictly, they will not comply.
Sadly, sir. Yes.
Right. But the argument there is because they're barangays.
Because they are barangays.
So they are not, therefore they cannot be eligible for NTAs. But ang barangay may NTA rin, di ba?
Yes, sir. But because of the minimal amount compared to what they should receive as a municipality or as a province.
Correct. So this 363 includes the barangay NTA yan. The barangay share for
Not
NTA.
yet, sir.
Diba ang barangay meron din siyang portion? Diba NTA and then it's divided to municipality, divided to city.
For barangay NTA data from DBM, but we have not received during our simulation.
Okay. But aren't barangays eligible for NTAs?
Yes, sir. But I'm not sure if all these barangays are receiving, because at present DBM could attest to that some are still not receiving.
Nung previous pa sila, before they became SGA, meron na
Yes, they
silang
were
NTA, di ba? They should receive NTA. Correct? So ang tanong ko lang, itong 363 includes their barangay share NTA.
No. Not yet, sir.
Hindi pa siya kasama.
Yes po.
But even do you have the number if you include the barangay share NTA?
We've requested DBM so for that data, but we haven't received.
Do you have that number, Attorney Baraan?
Apo, good morning, Mr. Chair. For 2024 NTA shares po of the involved barangays po, the total is 311,381,408 po.
Magkano?
311,381,408.
For
the 63 barangays po.
No, this is their perspective to. Correct?
2024 na po ito.
Ha?
Receive na po nila for 2024.
For 2024.
Yes po.
So they received 311 million.
Opo. All in po yan. For all the 63 barangays.
For
po.
all the 63 barangays.
Yes po.
And this forms part of their average annual income. Tama?
Will differ.
We have to put this in proper we have to record this because this is one of the most important requirements, is their income. So itong 311 forms part of their annual average income. Tama?
Yes, sir. It should form part.
So kung kasama yung 311, pasok sila sa 20 million. Tama? Even though you deflate it, I would assume papasok sila. No? Tama ba, Attorney Bobis?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So income requirement check na. Sure kayo, ha?
Yes.
Sisingilin namin kayo pag but give us an official computation, both TBM and BLGF, because based on your narration right now, pasok sila with 311 million NTA, and you're saying the NTA forms part of their average annual income. Tama? Okay. Next is the contiguous. No? Andito ba ang land management? Okay. What is their land area right now?
Good afternoon na po to everybody, to the honorable committee. So in terms of contiguity po, unfortunately kakasubmit lang po kasi sa amin ng MENRE po, ng Ministry of Environment ng BARM. So hindi pa po namin na-evaluate kung contiguous yung boundaries.
Yeah, but based on the
But in terms of the land area po, given
Yeah.
also by MENRE, the total land area po for the 8 municipalities is 55,281.3653 hectares po, which is short of the minimum requirement of 200,000 hectares for a creation of province under Section 461 po of RA 7160.
ang requirement.
Yes po, 200,000 hectares po.
Okay. So hindi siya pasok sa land area.
Hindi po
But
pasok
there's
sa land
another
area.
component land area or population.
Yes po, sa land area po hindi po siya pasok.
So sa population, can we ask PSA, what is the current population? Diba ang PSA?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Your Honors. Based on the 2020 Census of Population and Housing with May 1, 2020 as reference date, the proposed province of Cotabato, based on computation, has 215,433
Sorry,
for the entire province. 215,433.
215